Hello folks, it's Rob, and this is Long Live the Queen, which I strongly suspect was given to me because someone has a sense of humor. Let's take a spin, shall we? I've adjusted preferences to make it full screen. It's normally in a window. It seems to want to be 1024 by 600. By switching it to OpenGL, we have managed to make it look a little better on full screen. We have options for skip all or skip scene, transitions on or off. We can have feedback on or off. You can have it in windowed mode. You can adjust the volume of music and effects. Text speed can be sped up or slowed down, and there's an auto delay. And that's basically it. So, what's this checklist? Okay. Right, so, let's start a game. Jocelyn, King Dowager, Duke of Caloris. We're almost home. Your room is just the way you left it. Illidy, Crown Princess. Jocelyn, King Dowager. I know it's hard to leave your school and all your friends, but I've arranged the best possible tutors for every subject. You'll have to work hard this year to prepare yourself for your 15th birthday, but I know you can do it. You'll learn quickly, and you'll make a wonderful queen. It's what your mother would have wanted. This is not what Mother would have wanted. She wouldn't have wanted to die and leave me. No, she wouldn't. Smack. But sometimes bad things happen. We have to pick up and carry on. What's this? All of Nova depends on us, on you. I will be here to guide you until your coronation, but the decisions you make are ultimately up to you. Come, your maids are waiting. Welcome to Long Live the Queen. If this is your first time playing, you should read the brief introduction on how the game works. Yes. You will be controlling Elodie, the almost Queen of Nova, as she tries to prepare for her coronation. To do that, she needs to take classes every week in order to raise her skills. Okay. The skills she learns will provide different choices in the ongoing plot. Learning the right skills can mean the difference between life and death. You also need to keep an eye on Elodie's mood. With her mother's tragic death, Elodie is not very happy right now. Well, you don't say. The mood button will take you to the emotion screen for more details. Okay. Angry, cheerful, willful, pressured, afraid, depressed, yielding, lonely. Alright, so we kind of want to... Elodie is feeling both afraid and depressed, but her strongest emotion is depressed. If she becomes more cheerful to cancel out the depression, her strongest emotion would then be afraid. Okay. Elodie's current mood affects her ability to learn. It will give her a bonus to some skills and a penalty to others. Let's look at the skill screen now. Ooh, that's quite a skill screen. Skills are broken into 4 main categories: social, physical, intellectual, and mystical. Inside these categories are skill sets, groups of 3 related skills. You start with 0 in all skills. Wow. I mean, what'd you learn for the first 14 years before you turned up here? Every week, Elodie can study 2 skills. Normally, she earns 2 points in a skill every weekday that she studies. So if she studies history, she will earn 2 points times 5 days, which is 10 points. Because Elodie is depressed, she has a -2 penalty to the social skill set, conversation. She doesn't feel like talking to people right now. If she studies conversation, she will earn 2 -2 points per day, that is 0 points. However, she has a +1 bonus to the expression skill set. If she studies one of the expression skills, she'll earn 2 + 1 points per day, which means 3 points a day, 15 points for the week. Okay. Right, so I can see the penalties demeanor, conversation, but expression is here. Right, okay. If you study a skill you have a penalty for, you could be wasting your time and not learning anything. If you study a skill you have bonuses for, you will learn much faster than normal. All these bonuses and penalties will change when Elodie's mood changes. She can also gain bonuses to skills by studying related skills. Check the skill screen every week to see your current bonuses. Once you know your mood, skills, bonuses, and penalties, you are ready to choose your classes for the week. Quite a few classes. Classes screen breaks down skill sets by category for your morning and evening classes. When you select a skill set, the 3 options in the set will appear on the right side of the screen. Choose a class option for both morning and evening classes, then click the Done button, which will appear in the lower right-hand corner. As you play through the story, you will sometimes see feedback bubbles appearing over the text. These tell you what's happening behind the scenes. Bubbles like these will show you when Elodie's mood is being altered by events. Bubbles like these will show when the story is changing based on what skills Elodie has learned so far. If the test fails, there is some option being missed because she hasn't done enough points in that skill yet. This feedback is very useful in figuring out different options to try, but if you don't want to see it, you can turn the bubbles off in the Preferences menu. Now get ready to become a queen! Alright, so, skills. So, like, we got a bonus to expression and animal handling, and nothing else has a bonus. There are penalties there. Okay. So, animal handling and expression, I'm guessing. Okay. Let's see, let's go into horses, because little girls like horses, and expression. And expression doesn't seem to have any kind of subpart. Alright. Alright, so, okay, right, so, So, expression, decoration, instrument, or voice. Let's go with instrument. You tap out chiming dyads on the glockenspiel, learning the basics of harmony and rhythm. Okay. You walk around the stables, meeting the royal horses, learning about their breeds and their names for different parts of their anatomy. Right. What's all that noise outside? Who's here? Oh, it's my cousins and my aunt and uncle. Lucille, Countess of Niecks. Darling, we are so terribly sorry to hear about your mother, Fidelia. Thank you. You look well, niece. Hi, Lodi. Hi, Lottie. I haven't seen you in ages. Will you be staying long? Yep. Mama said we'll be here all month. Maybe we'll have some time to talk later. Now you finished studying, what will you do for the weekend? Visit Charlotte, attend court, talk to your father, attend service, explore castle, visit tomb, walk in the gardens, play with toys. Well, let's visit. I love this room. It's so much bigger than mine back home. You should visit more often. It's awful that the only time I get to see you is something like this. I know your brother and sister are still too young, but why haven't you come to school? My mother worries about me. She doesn't think anywhere but home is safe. I understand. I'm probably not going to be allowed to leave this castle until my birthday. But at least we can have fun together here. Well, okay. That did seem to cheer her up some, so that's good. So, okay, we got plus 0.15. Mystical. Yeah, so if we go into physical, agility, yeah. So we're going to agility and faith. Okay. Classes. Agility. Reflexes. And we'll have you do... oh yes, faith. And we'll have you go into... meditation. That should be useful. Okay. Your teacher walks around you, prodding a finger at you slowly in order to train you in blocking those touches without triggering fear or faster breathing. You practice assuming a sitting position that allows you to be relaxed and tranquil without being so relaxed that you're likely to fall asleep. What's that commotion outside? Father, what's going on? Juliana, Duchess of Ursel. Okay. I have come to pay my respects in honor of your mother. You have no respect for her honor. It is because of you and your powers that my wife is dead. What? I am a lumen, as was she, and like every lumen, I am willing to give my life if necessary to protect our domain. Your line has been traitors for 200 years. I won't have you corrupting my daughter. That is for the crown princess to decide. Elodie, your mother trusted me, and I have much to teach you. I want to hear what she has to say. She stays. As you wish. So, what to do for the weekend? Let's see. Sneak out. Play with toys. Visit Juliana. Visit Charlotte again. Attend the service. Visit the tomb. Explore the castle. Attend court. Talk to your father. Walk in the gardens. Let's talk to Dad. Dad, what really happened to Mom? She was a lumen, a magic user. It was meant to be in reserve to defend our domain, but she insisted on... You don't need to hear that. She used magic. It drained her strength. She thought it was harmless, and it wasn't. Eventually, her heart just stopped. That's why I don't want you involved with it. Okay. So, how's the mood? Well, we're slightly more willful. Let's see, skills. So, we've got quite a bonus on the physical. And on the mystical. So we'll do those again. Okay. Let's do flexibility this time. And, let's do lore. Okay. You learn to relax and evaluate the tension in your body, then to practice the different types of motion available to each of your joints, twisting, shifting, and rotating. Only a lumen can channel magic, and only with the help of an attuned crystal. The ability to control a crystal seems to be inherited, so crystals can be passed from parent to child upon the lumen's death. He loves me not. Lottie, do you have a boyfriend? Not really. I just like to play with the flowers. All of a sudden, the Duchess of Ursel rushes into the gardens and points a sword at you. No, not at you, at your feet. Princess, don't move! You want to hold still, but you don't have the composure to hold your position without peeking. You look down to see where her sword is pointing. There's a snake in the grass. You You can't help it. You squeak and jump back. The snake tenses and prepares to strike. No! Your cousin pushes you aside and the snake's fangs sink into her leg. Lottie! Too late. Juliana swings her sword and cuts off the snake's head. What is going on here? Your daughter's been bitten by a milk viper. They're poisonous. Get an herbalist right away. I will treat my daughter. I certainly can't trust anyone here to keep her safe. I'm sorry. I don't feel good. We'll be returning home to Merva immediately. Your aunt has a point. Milk vipers are not native to this area. That snake should never have been here. Someone may have tried to kill you. Will Charlotte be okay? I don't know. Right. Let's, the music's quite going. Let's go with, visit Juliana. What is it you wanted to teach me? First, I need to know if you have your mother's crystal. What crystal? The source of power for any lumen is a particular magical crystal. Once you've bonded with it, it becomes a part of you as long as you live. The royal crystal has been passed down from ruler to ruler for generations. It belongs to you now, except that the king may be keeping it from you. Do you have a crystal? Of course. She holds out her hands. Light flickers above her bosom, and then with a shower of sparkles, something takes shape. You reach out to touch it, and it dissolves away to nothing. Oh. It belongs to me. No one can take it from me until I die. You need to find the crystal that belongs to you. Okay, we're a bit angry, a bit afraid, actually. Yeah. Right. Physical and mystical continue to be effective. Okay, well, classes. Let's give you an R1 on reflexes, and this time we're going to go into divination and just round that one out. Okay. You practice with a jump rope to increase the speed of your footwork. You practice solo tennis, hitting a ball against the wall repeatedly in order to train your hand and eye to react. You may now play sports on the weekends. You learn that the gods cannot be forced to divulge information about the future, and that the most powerful omens are those which arrive unexpectedly. The castle seems quieter with Charlotte and Emery and Zara and their parents gone. It's certainly not empty, though. It seems like we get more servants every day. I was so worried about Charlotte after that snake bit her. But her mother said she's okay, so I guess it turned out all right. Maybe she has a guardian angel. So I can play sports, which will make me angrier. Okay. Let's visit the dungeons, why not? You sneak a peek at some of the luckless peasants who have held in the dungeons, petty thieves and troublemakers now suffering in the dark. They're obviously bad people, but seeing them so miserable still feels unfair. There must be a better way. So that's made you more willful and made you less afraid. Okay. So, let's see. I feel like I'm overly focusing on the faith and agility areas, but those are your most productive ones. Right. Well, let's give you some dance, and let's throw you into a meditation again. Practice curtsying, standing and walking across the floor in a graceful manner. close your eyes and relax every muscle of your body, in turn letting that feeling travel down through you from your head to your fingertips and toes. You take slow, deep breaths, letting the air move through your body, feeling it give you life and energy. One of the maids approaches for your attention. Alice. My lady, couriers have arrived from the Duke of Sedna. We have a Duke of Sedna? No, my lady. The Duchess of Sedna is in Talesi. They have brought you a letter and a gift. Condolences on the death of, deeply regret, best wishes. Oh, what a beautiful necklace! Something sparkly will make me feel better. Now that you've finished studying, what will you do for the weekend? Let's talk to Dad. Dad, what happened to Mom's lumen crystal? It's in the safe place. Can I have it? No. But it's mine! Meddling with magic killed your mother. I don't want that to happen to you. Once you're crowned queen, I can't stop you from doing anything you want, but for now you are still a child. Okay. Thought that might happen. Extra willful. Yes. Alright. Yeah, so we're gonna blow on royal demeanor at the moment. Oh, there we go. Intrigue, military, lumen. Alright, we managed to switch that up some. That's good. Classes. Let's do intrigue, and we'll do internal affairs. And then let's do military, and we'll do strategy. Until you have children of your own, your maternal uncle, the Duke of Merva, is next in line for the crown, and after him would be his daughter, your cousin Charlotte. You study the strengths and weaknesses of different weapons and battle formations. As you are walking, you spot a familiar figure in the palace gardens. It's the Duchess of Ursel. Maybe I should go and say hello. Then you notice that seated beside her is a woman in the robes of a priestess. They are very close together, their hands gently touching as they speak. Looks like she's busy. You turn and walk in a different direction so as not to disturb them. At that moment, you notice something unusual. It looks like someone just left the palace grounds by going over the hedge. Was that a servant, a thief, or an assassin? I will call the guards. Guards! However, by the time the response is organized and directed to the area beyond the palace, there is no sign of any intruder. You wonder if you were only imagining it. So, what to do for the weekend? Can't talk to Dad anymore. Let's attend a service. You attend services in the Castle Grove, letting the peace of the ritual calm your heart. Yeah, so, less depressed, no longer afraid, okay, rather willful, right. Let's see, military, got more on, intrigue we can get more on, lumen, economics we're not ready for, history we're not ready for, royal demeanor we're not ready for. Okay, classes. I think we'll just stick with these. Your maternal uncle's wife, the Countess of Nyx, claims kinship to the old Merva line and originally asked your mother for title to the duchy. However, no one could verify her lineage. As a compromise, your mother created her brother Duke of Merva. The last Duke of Mead was her older half-brother of the current Duchess. His reign was brief and highly scandalous. He defied tradition to pledge himself as the only life-mate of old Duke of Ursul, then broke that off only a year later. He retired to seclusion and died still unwed. Okay. You study the effects of battle stresses on troops and how morale can turn the tide of combat. You study military recruitment and the importance of training and motivation and making soldiers who can trust and depend on each other. Okay. As you are walking up the stairs, a maid comes running down holding a towering pile of linen. You swiftly step aside and let her pass. Okay, so the reflexes paid off. Explore the castle, visit a tomb. Let's play with toys. Spend the weekend holed up alone in your room with your favorite toys. It's childish, but you feel a bit better. Yeah, balancing out. Okay. So let's see here. Basically the same classes are the best ones. Okay. So, intrigue. Let's switch to foreign intelligence, and let's do logistics. Current Duke of Sedna is 26 years old and unmarried. He might be considered a good marriage prospect for you if you desire stronger ties with the domain of Talassi. You learn about the types and amount of food required for an army on the march and how long it will remain edible. Okay. There's a man here to see you. He wishes crown funding for a project of his. Remember, the treasury is not unlimited. If you choose to invest, you will have less money to work with later. Man. Just man. Your Royal Highness, I have a plan to print books using metal letters which can be moved and reused. I need to borrow 875 lassie to assemble the metal and a factory to mold the cast and type. With this system, we will be able to create new books in a fraction of the time it takes now, and make copies to send all over the world. I don't know much about factories or trade. Would that really be worthwhile? We are not interested, you dumbass. Take the court a few games of tennis. Feel the thrill of competition. Okay. Right, let's continue with foreign intelligence, but this time we'll do that one again. The domain of Gia, across the sea to the west, has been steadily increasing in size, now controls a wide range of coastline, as well as the most of the navigable rivers. The political disruption in Tombula in recent years has caused a disruption in the chocolate production, which is to the benefit of Nova, particularly in the Duchy of Kigal. Okay. You study the kinds of equipment that soldiers need available, such as bedding, weapons, armor, medicine, bandages, and the tools to repair anything damaged. You study different kinds of transport: animals, wagons, sledges, ships, boats, and boots. Benyon, Duke of Marie, Earl of Serenitatis. Single. 31. Your Highness, my sympathies for your loss. Even after all these years, I sometimes forget that my own mother will never be coming back. Thank you. However, I must call in your aid. The Ixonite occupation of the county of Imbrium has gone on for too long. Now is the time to push back. I know there's been some problems with Ixion, but I don't know the details. I guess they're occupying southern Marie. We have plenty of troops, so it shouldn't be that hard to drive them out if we want to make a fight of it. Battle. Well, if they want to fight, we'll give it to them. I will arrange for troops to be sent to your aid. Thank you, Your Highness. Your Highness, if I may ask, that necklace you're wearing, where did it come from? It was a gift from the Duke of Sedna. And you have made arrangements with him? What sort of arrangements? Your Highness, that is a courting gift. The man wishes to gain your hand in marriage. Oh, I didn't realize. Let's go with, we will attend court. Sitting in on court sessions is not fun at all, but it pleases your father and may be important for your future. Yes, exactly. Right, weapons have opened up. We still have military. Let's have you learn some archery and naval strategy. You learn how to twist and wax bowstring from a variety of fibers. You learn that the sea is not something you hold, it is something you travel across. Naval strategy ensures your free travel while denying it to your enemies. You receive a report on the outcome of the battle against the Ixionites. You succeeded in driving them out of Marie, but it cost you about 3/4 of a battalion of soldiers and a great deal of material. You lost 868 soldiers. The Duke of Marie will be happy, but we could have done better. Suppose we could talk to Father. Since we pleased him by attending court. No effect by going to the dungeon. Dad, if this trouble with Ixion started years ago, why didn't Mom fix it? Your mother told the Duke of Marie and the Duchess of Hellas that it was their problem and they should sort it out themselves. Oh. Should I have done that? The situation is different now. Everyone on all sides wishes to see what sort of queen is coming to the throne. Everyone is judging me. Okay. Classes. Nope, skills. Right. Military continues to do well. Weapons. Okay, we'll do the same classes again. You learn to cut, fletch, and tie arrows. You learn about different styles of sizes of bows, long, short, and recurve. Study different kinds of ships, their names, designs, and number of crew needed for each. You study the different kinds of ships, their speed, maneuverability, and standard complement of weapons. You've unlocked a new outfit. There are reports that a Keithong has been sighted leaving the old forest. What's a Keithong? A beast with a body of an enormous golden cat, a sharp beak, and spikes on its back. Eee! Several disturbances in the southern Calores are already thought to be the work of this creature. What do we do? Should we send hunters? The traditional policy is to stray beasts is to hope that they return to the forest and stay there. I guess we just, do nothing. Hunters are no match for such creatures. You would only make it angry and waste more lives. So we just let it eat people? Everyone dies in the end. Also, there's a letter for you. Teleris, Duke of Sedna, will be arriving next week for an official visit. Let's talk to Juliana. My father says I can't have the crystal until I'm queen, so we'll have to wait. There may not be time to wait. The world is filled with dangers, and you need the power of a lumen to fight them. You can't begin training until you've bonded with your crystal. Well, what else am I supposed to do about it? The crystal's probably held under guard in the royal treasury. You are the princess. You should be able to find a way inside. Otherwise, we may have to take drastic action. I am going to wait until I'm older. No, I trust my father, and he says I shouldn't do this. He is trying to protect you. So am I. So we have a new outfit? Uniform. Okay. Learn about caring for your bow, how to store it between uses, string and unstring, and check for damage or wear. You also learn that you should never fire a bow without an arrow on the string. Learn about how units reinforce each other in the field, gaining strength through proximity and covering for weakness. You study the effects of different kinds of battle terrain for both offense and defense. You now may tour the barracks on the weekends. Talaris, Duke of Sedna. Ah, your highness, what a pleasure it is to meet you in person at last. Your description did not do you justice. He is 26 and single, noble from the domain of Talasse, southeast of Nova. I don't know how to deal with handsome older men paying me compliments. I was so pleased to hear that you had accepted my humble offering, a jewel for a jewel, but you are the more precious. I hope that this is only the beginning of a mutually beneficial relationship. Our union between us would bring stability to both our peoples. He really does want to marry me. I need to let him down gently. I'm not marrying you, I'm only 14. That may not have been gentle. I see. I regret the misunderstanding. You're impressed by the discipline of the Novan troops, but the responsibility of their lives weigh heavily upon your shoulders. Approximately 9 battalions, 1 company, and 1 platoon under your direct command. Alright, let's see if you can learn something that would be more useful to things that we need to cover. Let's do lore, and I think we've covered enough military for now, even though we're good at it. Let's do intrigue. Okay. Let's do foreign intelligence, and let's do lore. Since the recent revolution, the Tombulans have twice begun gathering troops on the Novan border. Both times their camps were struck by fierce storms and earthquakes, and they decided to give up on the idea. Kings and queens of Nova have all been lumens for centuries, but in modern times, magic is only used for ceremonial occasions and in the direst emergencies. Long, long ago, the continent of Borealis was ruled over by a single witch king, until a rival line of lumens challenged for the crown. The resulting war went on for 100 years, with the powerful spells that damaged the land so badly that even now no plants will grow. You are requested to stand in judgment. A woman has been convicted of attempted murder and requests the mercy of the crown. Kevin, Earl of Io. Has several younger half-siblings. Okay. Your Highness, the Slattern. dares to beg pardon when she admits that she tried to poison my sister under her own roof. Which sister? Coruscant, the Duchess of Mead. Is she all right? She is unharmed, but we caught the culprit in the kitchens before anyone could eat her foul spew. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? It's justice it is. Them devils killed me brother and broke me mam's heart. Lied to her, they did, when she went to see why he'd not come back. Said he'd gone for a soldier when he never would. He weren't the only one neither. I waited 10 years for my chance to get my own back. That's justice. You see, she's completely unrepentant. Hang her and be done with it. This might have something to do with the last Duke of Mead. He was involved in all sorts of scandals. Did the old Duke kill her brother? Are you accusing my family? I'm asking what happened. The honor of our line is far greater than that of a wet-bottomed child who sits on the throne. What? Without warning, the Earl of Io draws a dagger and slices the convict's throat. No one harms my family. No one! He throws the blood-stained blade to the floor and walks away. That's, I'm angry. Take the court for a few games of tennis. Feel the thrill of the competition. Right, I'm extra angry. That jerk. How dare he slaughter that person in front of me? I hadn't made my decision yet. I think we've had enough archery. Good at medicine. Still need to do classes in royal demeanor, which is no good currently. Right. Let's do internal affairs and let's do dance. Yes. Practice walking on the arm of a partner and following their cues to pause and turn while keeping your eyes closed. You practice different partner dance positions, closely held at a distance and non-contact, the appropriate hand placement for each. The Duke of Marie has paid suit to the Duchess of Ursel to no avail. The Duchess' brother is opposed, as he will inherit if she dies childless. Your agents suspect that the Duchess of Ursel is actually more interested in the Duchess of Hellas. Neither has ever been linked to a man. You are walking one day in the gardens. You hear a strange sound and look up to see an owl flying overhead. A single dry leaf flutters in its talons. That's funny. I thought owls were nocturnal. I guess I was wrong. When you return to the castle, your father is waiting for you. There's a woman here to see you. She wishes crown funding for a project. Thank you for seeing me, Your Royal Highness. I come to you on behalf of the people. Well, considering I have no economic training, it's probably not going to go well. I wish to build a hospital where any citizen afflicted with disease can be brought for treatment. Putting all the sick people together, wouldn't that make them die even faster? We are not interested. Because you're a dumbass. Alright. What shall we put you to work doing on the weekend here? Right, court. Sitting on court sessions is not fun at all, but please your father may be important for your future. Indeed. Right, so, classes. Skills. Okay. Can we get you to learn something I want you to learn now? You're gonna be a great general, but you need to learn some other things. How am I gonna get royal demeanor up? Right, we'll continue with intrigue, this time on ciphering, and then we're gonna go throw into flexibility. And then there. You practice circling your arms and kicking motions with your legs to stretch out your limbs. You practice bouncing motions with your arms and legs to increase the muscular effect. You unlocked a new outfit. You practice reading words whose letters have been arranged in reverse order, the simplest of transpositions, which anyone literate can puzzle through if they try, but sometimes useful to hide information. Remember that the Festival of the Good Lady is approaching. There will be a public celebrations for the commoners, followed by a grand gala for the nobility. As a queen, you'll be expected to lead the procession and take part in the ceremonial planning, possibly give a speech. However, since you are not yet crowned, it is not required. It may not be safe to expose you to the public. What do you mean, not safe? Outside the castle, you are less well protected. If anyone means you harm, think on it now, decide on it later. There's a letter for you as well. It's from Byrony. I went to school with her, but she's a couple of years older than me. Her mother is the Duchess of Mead. She's complaining her mother still won't let her come home for the holidays. Apparently her Uncle Kevin is absolutely furious about that woman's trial. She's bored and looking for an adventure. Well, I don't have any to suggest to her. I can't help but think that going here will help me be better able to learn my courtly things. Right. Well, it helps with intrigue, but... Alright. We'll do ciphering again, but this time we're gonna do something else. Let's do court manners. Yes. I was going to do ciphering? Yeah, I was going to do ciphering. Okay. You review the correct greetings for guests according to rank and when to extend your hand to another. All nobles expect their due honors. Practice shifting substitution ciphers, where each letter is replaced by one of the few steps further along in the alphabet, so that cake and pie becomes... You practice random substitution ciphers, where the normal alphabet is replaced by one in jumbled order. This is harder to decode, but most people need a written substitution chart that can read or write it, and the chart can be lost or stolen. Locked a new outfit. Today is the procession and planting the Festival of the Good Lady. Will you be leading the parade? If you have any concerns about your safety, please stay here. The people will recover from disappointment. If we lose you, there is no recovery. I will lead the parade. I'm not afraid. I'm going to be the best parade leader ever. My little girl. You prepare the best gown for the occasion and walk slowly through the town with your attendants. It would not be appropriate for you to wear a sword, but you walk with a sturdy golden scepter that is taller than you are. At the end of the route, you help the priestess turn over the earth for a new tree to be planted. Then the new life is blessed, and all the attendants join in song. The procession regroups and returns to the castle. All of a sudden, there's a faint rumbling noise from under your feet. The newly planted tree in front of you quivers, and then, out of nowhere, a spurt of water comes up from the ground, splattering an assembled crowd with droplets. Just as quickly as it began, it vanishes. The priestess tried to calm the crowds with talk of omens and natural eruptions, but they still can't halt the whispers of dark magic. That water tasted of salt. So, what shall we do for the weekend? going to make you more lonely and afraid, because I don't know, whatever I've been trying to do has not been working. You wander through parts of the castle other people rarely visit, but find little except spider webs. Yuck. Okay, outfit. Catsuit boosts intrigue. Okay. Tutu boosts agility. Okay. Well, we're finally able to do royal demeanor in a more appropriate fashion, so let's do that. And look, history has opened up, so we can do that too. Okay. Let's do presents. And we're going to do history. Let's do Novan history. You practice wearing the royal regalia and looking at yourself in a mirror. Young as you are a queen of the blood. You are your mother's daughter. You are a force to be reckoned with. You read about the history of your domain. Hundreds of years ago, Nova was the center of a great empire, spanning the length of the western coast as well as a few island territories. Over time, your influence has waned. Are you ready for the grand ball? All the nobles in the domain are here to see you, to see their queen. You finish dressing and descend the stairs to make the grand entrance. All around, the rich and powerful pause in their activities to gaze upon you, the ruler of them all. Wow. Failed all 4 tests. Seeing yourself reflected in so many eyes makes you want to run away and hide. After a moment, you force yourself to carry on, but you're sure they've all seen you hesitate. Your father waits for you at the bottom of the stairs and offers you his arm. The first dance is for us. He guides you gently around the dance floor, never rushing you. It's fun to dance with your father, but the look in his eyes is so sad. After this, you must choose your own partner. There are a number of men who hope to catch your eye. The Duke of Kigal alone has brought 3 eligible sons, all near your age. You look around the room at all your possible partners, which is to say everyone. No one may begin dancing until you do. You can pick whoever you want, and you will not be denied. Well, great. About my age. You approach Linley, the second son of the Duke of Kigal. He's about 2 years older than you, and he was always nice to you at school. He bows to you a great courtesy, and you begin to dance. Dancing with a real partner feels quite different from dancing with your father. You knew him, knew his steps as like part of you. Now every move is a mystery. Unfortunately, you lose track of the steps you're supposed to do when you trip over your own feet. Between the dances, there is time for guests to mingle, chat, and sample tiny bites of exquisite food. Wow, I am blowing this all over the place. During a lull in the music, Banyan, the Duke of Marie, taps an elegant fingernail against the wine glass, letting the clear note ring out throughout the room. Banyan, Duke of Marie, Earl of Seratempus, if I might have your attention, I believe we should offer our compliments to our lovely hostess. Her bravery and courage keep our borders defended. Everyone applauds loudly. As the gala continues, you take the opportunity to observe nobles that you rarely see. There's Gwenelle, for instance, the young lady of Sudbury, only months older than you and due to finally inherit control of her duchy soon. Or Adele, the youngest daughter of the Duchess of Lila, and a fierce sportswoman. She was a few years ahead of you at school and the absolute terror of the ball fields. No, Birney, she had said her parents were leaving her stuck at school this season. Her parents are here, dancing together, the Duke Consort clutching his Duchess possessively tight. Strange there's no sign of your cousins, though. Shouldn't they be here? Your aunt and uncle are here, of course. It would be scandalous if they hadn't come, Merva being so close by. It's nice to be able to enjoy time with friends and family, isn't it? We failed every single test there. Wow. Okay. Let's, well, I don't know what to do with you. Let's go walk in the gardens. Walking in fresh air helps you forget the burdens on your shoulders. Right, so what are we going to be good at? Demeanor, definitely need. Now let's hit that history again. Okay, classes. Let's just stick with what we've done. Stare at yourself in the mirror and practice focusing and transmitting energy with only your eyes, turning the intensity of your gaze on and off at will. You practice using different styles of breathing in order to feel more energetic and to let the energy surround you for others to share. Nova's history involves an endless slew of names and dates. Even as small as it's become, there are 10 dukedoms, no 11 now, plus the royal line. You hope no one expects you to memorize every lineage. No individual may hold more than one dukedom, but nobles seek noble spouses, so titles often come together before that being parceled out to heirs. Your father is Duke of Caloris, and his brother is Duke of Mazobau. Bryn, Duchess of Hellas, is the sister of Benyon, Duke of Marie, and so on. You wander downstairs to visit your father and talk about the latest events of the domain. You're moving with such enthusiasm you don't realize your father isn't alone until it's too late to avoid him and his companion. Siren, Countess Miranda, and Callisto. You were too kind, Jocelyn. 25 and single. Dad's doing well. Countess Siren, not a member of your circles. She's a bit more than a decade your senior, far too old to have ever been your friend, and yet not at all old as noblewomen go. She has 2 minor titles, no husband, and your father's arm in her grasp. How dare she make a move on your father? Let's go with silent scorn. You meet her eyes and imagine your mother's disapproving presence behind you. She knows you stare, but only smiles at you ever so sweetly. So much for my presence classes. Darling Elodie, I hope you've been well. Fine. Perhaps we'll be seeing more of each other in the future. She gives a little wave and exits. Once she's gone, you raise an eyebrow at your father. Don't give me that look, young lady. She's a nice woman, nothing more. She wants something more, and it's not going to happen anytime soon. How old's Dad? Dad's 33. You should be careful how you deal with people like Siren. You need the goodwill of your nobles as well as your commoners. Haven't many problems so far. Many dark looks were aimed your way at the gala. As queen, you must be aware of everything around you. Is that what I have agents for? Yes, but you must give them direction. What is your greatest concern? I'm going to go with assassins. I'll deal with any problems that come up as long as I'm here to deal with them. It's assassins I'm worried about. You are your own best defense against assassins. Increasing your skills will help protect you. Beyond that, you can train more soldiers into personal bodyguards to watch over you. Or you can institute harsh penalties for treason and make people too frightened to cross you. More training. There are so many things you need to learn in so little time. Be calm and determined and you will succeed. I believe in you. Thanks, Dad. Right, let's, Can I make you more cheerful and less angry? Right. Is there like a cheerful and... Let's just take a service. You attend services in the Castle Grove, letting the peace of the ritual calm your heart. Right, so... Presence isn't working. Move on to foreign affairs, I think. And then, I think composure. You practice deep breathing exercises, learning to find and maintain a sense of inner calm. You study the relationship of Nova and its nearest neighbors. The borders have been mostly peaceful in recent years, however there is problems with Ixion to the south. However, trouble may be brewing in Piraeus as well. It is time of the year to decide any necessary adjustments to the royal budget. The majority of the money we receive is already spoken for, but there is already some room for discretion. I really don't understand any of these numbers. Let's keep them the same. I think they're fine as they are. As you wish. Great, Dad. You're a big help. Wow. Looks like I'm having a heart attack. Alright, done something that's kind of screwed up my progress in there. So we're not doing history. Let's do divination. Ciphering again. Internal affairs would be important. Countess Leaky of Dees married the old Duke of Sudbury, who was more than twice her age, then divorced him as soon as she'd borne him an heir in order to marry another. It was considered shockingly rude by the general nobility, but the old Duke apparently had no objection. The Countess of Dees is now married to the disinherited third sibling of the Duke of Marie and the Duchess of Hellas. Currently both Duke and Duchess are unwed. If either dies without heir, a title may still pass to Countess's husband. Dropping your favorite plate is bad luck. A statue spontaneously shattering is a bad omen. You read about well-known signs of bad fortune, wells turning sour, dry lightning, strange fish caught in some nets, malformed babies being born, and so on. Now we have a new outfit. You are requested to stand in judgment. A man has been convicted of murder by strangling of his wife. He does not deny the act, but requests pardon that he might be set free. If you admit you killed your wife, why do you think I'm going to set you free? Save me, Your Majesty. It wasn't my fault. Demons made me do it. Everyone knows the power of magical beasties. They used me. They twisted my fingers into chains. My wife found me screaming. She tried to shake me with the chains wrapped around her. I need a priest to bless me and make me clean again. Demons that make you attack people? Is that even possible? We will imprison him. Whether there were demons or not, you still killed a woman, your wife. I won't forgive you for that. You'll be imprisoned for the rest of your life. He opens his mouth to argue with you further, but then his shoulders slump. Yes, Your Majesty. Alright, let's, apparently being yielding is going to help me. Let's do that one. Yeah, that puts us back on track for this stuff. Okay. Elegance. Give you at least some basic training in that. And in world history. Practice walking along a narrow rail, taking each step carefully and focusing on your balance. You look at a globe of the world, reading names of places so distant you can't remember even hearing about them. and other areas left blank because no explorer venturing there has ever returned. You receive word that the murderer you condemned to prison has escaped. A large explosion rocked the jail he's in, destroying the walls and setting many dangerous criminals free. It will now fall to the Royal Treasury to repair the damage. Really? Right, sports it is. Wow. What's his new outfit? Priest's robe. Okay. Still know nothing in so many areas. Practice with a sword, and give you a small run of public speaking, because that's, I mean, for God's sake. You practice tongue-twisting sentences as syllables to improve your enunciation. You take up a wooden sword and practice correct grips and stances. I regret to inform you that Fabian, the Earl of Titan and Duke Regent of Eleth, has passed away. This isn't really a surprise. He was pretty old. The problem is political implications. With the control of Eleth in doubt, it falls to the crown to make decisions. Young Lord Adair will not reach his 15th birthday for over 2 years. He requires a regent. His stepmother, Arise, the Duchess of Villa, has petitioned that the boy be left in her care. This would, however, leave her in personal control of 2 neighboring duchies, which is generally forbidden. Almost the entire eastern border. I don't know anything really bad about her, though. The boy has a malignant grandfather, the Earl of Ishtar, or you might appoint an unrelated noble to act in his stead. The Earl of Ishtar suggested another possibility. You and Adair are both young, not too far apart in age. He requests that we accept the boy as your future husband and keep him here at the castle. I will send him to my uncle. What about your brother Armand? He would be safe with a pair of hands to watch over Adair, as you wish. Apparently I need to be less angry. Right. Yeah, that helped. Okay. So let's learn some more foreign affairs and some more composure, I think. Practice positive thinking, maintaining a good self-image, and conditioning yourself to carry on rather than be frustrated by any past misstep. You practice sitting calmly while your teacher circles around you and makes unexpected loud noises at random intervals. 4 years ago, the Duchess of Hellas tried to foment an insurrection in northern Ixion, just over the Gelban River border. Not only did that fail, but in retaliation Ixion pushed troops into southern Marie, and they are still refusing to leave. Tambula to the north underwent a peasant revolution shortly after you were born. The nobles either fled or were killed, and the new rulers have so far refused to establish official diplomatic ties with Nova. While they are not friendly, neither are they enemies, at least not yet. There's a woman here to see you. She is a musician, and wishes crown patronage, which means money. Your Royal Highness, if you accept me as a member of your court, I will immortalize you in word and song. I have dabbled in musical styles from many countries, and can entertain your guests and enlighten your evenings. Musicians are often used as secret agents and messengers. They can be useful and dangerous. The musician sings a little ditty to demonstrate her skills with the lute. She's actually pretty good. I accept her as court musician. Very well, you can remain as part of the court. I will do my best for you. Right, so being more yielding seems to help in some of the areas we need to work on. What can I do to make you yielding? Visiting the dungeons. Creep through the castle dungeons, catching glimpses here and there of a fate that awaits troublemakers in this kingdom. Even nobles can end up here sometimes. It's a good reminder to stay on the straight and narrow. Yes, there we go. Okay, so let's move into elegance, and we'll do a week on world history. You practice standing and walking with books balanced on your head. You practice the elegant way to hold and sip from a teacup, your pinky slightly extended for balance. You've unlocked a new outfit. You read about the Western Continent, Jalvar, where civilization flourished so long ago that the ancestral Novans were still living in caves. No one knows what became of them. The population vanished without a trace, leaving only their enormous stone buildings. In the distant past, the Yeveni tribes in the east rode great beasts with spines and tentacles on their heads instead of horses. The bones of these creatures are sometimes found in Layla and Mead, and their tusks are valuable to crafters. You read about the northern continent, Borealis, where the first lumens in history were recorded, and how the discovery of magic shaped their development. And not in our outfit. Receive a letter from young Lord Adair. So far, he's enjoying himself with his uncle in Bazamba. He says the trees look different and there are lots more frogs. He looks forward to visiting the lookout fort at Shepherd's Point. Well, that seems to be going okay. So, can I make you more pressurized without reducing the yielding? Make it less angry. Let's look at these outfits. Let's see here. Okay. Finally getting some movement that we want in that direction. Right, well, I guess we'll do Novan history for one last run. And then I think we're going to do composure. Command, your teacher strikes your palm with a leather toss, and you learn to bear the sting. You lie on a couch and try to remain relaxed while your teacher smacks your heels with a leather toss. Okay. Arisi, Duchess of Lela, is the mother of the Duchess of Mead, the mother-in-law of the Duke of Kigal, and the stepmother of the future Duke of Elath. People sometimes call her Nova's Eastern Queen. The Duchy of Sudbury is currently held in regency by Duchess Lika of Dees for her daughter Gwenelle, who is your age. She inherited the duchy last year upon death of her father. Staring up at the sky out the window, you notice a strange flash of light. A falling star, pretty. Great. I always fail everything. It is amazing. Do a bit more in the faith. Wow, I'd actually get a negative result if I were to train in weapons. Yeah, so let's do a faith skill. Skills. You stare into a polished crystal ball and relax, letting your mind wander. You close your eyes and visualize the crystal ball floating in front of your eyes. You read about signs that have presaged famous disasters, such as the seas running red before the doomed shadow fell upon Nova 200 years ago. You read about King Latimer and how he knew he was destined for greatness when he saw the shape of a crown in a spider's web. I have unpleasant news to report. Tellerus, the Duke of Sedna, has instituted high tariffs and trade restrictions at the Eleth border. Business is disrupted and there are growing shortages of supplies. We will send emergency aid. And the Royal Treasury will pay to keep the people fed. Very well. Okay. Let's visit the tomb. Pay your respects to your mother's tomb and wonder if the same fate is awaiting you. Okay. Not sure what affects these. Throw it into presence, and let's do lore. Okay. You plant your feet in a strong stance, imagining that you are a tree deeply rooted in the earth. You can feel that power within you and know that you will not be pushed aside. You practice focusing your attention on individuals as you pass, letting them feel a brief constant connection with you before you formally acknowledge them with a nod. Legend has it that long ago a horde of Yuveni on the back of tentacle monsters rode into the Valley of Mead, laying waste to all in their path. Their conquest was only halted when the Lumen raised a great flood to drown the invaders. Legend says that the island domain of Melanie was once a single island instead of a cluster, until an invading Novan queen raised a terrible pillar of fire and shattered the land into pieces. My lady, there are letters for you. Another lady from Brainy. Why does she keep writing me? We were never even friends. She says she's bored and lonely and she's looking forward to seeing me at Gwenelle's birthday party. That's right, Gwenelle's about to turn 15. She'll be Duchess of Sudbury for real now. The other letter must be my invitation to her birthday celebration next week. Gwenelle and I were friends at school, but this will be a big event, so it's a long way to travel. A lot of things can happen on the road. We're gonna go. It'll be good to see my friends. Apparently I can't even go to services this week. rooms of court. Right. Actually, this will be the outfit we're going to wear while we go abroad. Let's go in for foreign affairs and elegance. You are strapped into a corset and hoop skirt and practice walking in these. The corset makes it hard to breathe and twist, and the skirt sways out of control if you move too rapidly. You practice graceful arm gestures for every motion, from offering your hand for a kiss to taking a hold of a banister at the stairs. You practice eating slowly with a minimum of mess, chewing each bite set number of times before swallowing. Southeast lies the domain of Talasy, with which we have enjoyed fairly cordial relations. Sedna, their chief province, borders the Novan Duchy of Ilath, and nobles from the two provinces have been known to intermarry. The Duchy of Ilila was not part of the pre-imperial Nova domain, but the western range of the Yeva nomads. A faction of any who wished to settle offered their allegiance willingly to the Nova Queen, and their chief was named a duke. Because the Lilians are descending from Yeveni castouts who are officially shunned, Yevi nomads do not acknowledge that Yela even exists. They treat their western border as an invisible wall, and Novan emissaries as travelers from an impossibly distant land. Okay. On your journey to Sudbury, your carriage is attacked by bandits. You look down in shock at the arrow which has buried itself in your side. Outside you can hear screams and curses, but it feels unreal. Your world is centered around pain. You struggle with the arrow, afraid to pull it loose. You hear a story somewhere about pushing arrows through a body, so you brace yourself and give it a shove. Unfortunately, this only drives the arrow deeper into your vital organs, turning a painful wound to a fatal one. You idiot. Ellie did not survive to reach her coronation. Nova would have to go on without her. But it doesn't have to end this way. Make different choices, train different skills, and Elodie's star may rise again. Right, so that's been a run. That's been Long Live the Queen. Bizarrely compelling little game, actually. I feel weird playing this, but at the same time, it's actually been a bit fun. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.